Hi guys, welcome to another video, and we're back again. We're going over the improvements, the combat changes for Hector. So let's get straight into it. This is round 2, so check out the other version where I go through all the main changes. But yeah, so let's get straight into this. This is going to be a little bit quicker because obviously the stuff that changes in this one is less impactful, let's say. Health bars have been given a visual makeover. Sure, it looks cool. An energy bar is now shown beneath health bars. This is really cool for any DPS ever, because, and healers actually, because you know what the other person has that you're fighting against. Load screens are now 700% more sumptuous. They look cool. They do look cool, but you only see them for 0.1 of a second, so, I mean, yeah. The Destiny board UI has been brought up to date and is now much easier to read. Can confirm it is. The new Destiny board tracker widget is substantially improved. You can change its size. You can show percentages. You can untrack individual nodes. You can switch to an icons only view. This is really cool because you can actually track and untrack, and that's something I've been wanting. So I can track the things I actually care about. I don't care that the daggers I played once, he's like one fame from the next level. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Destiny board completion notifications have been updated to be sleeker and more modest, and therefore use up less of the screen. Good, but still, please give us a way to turn them off. I think that needs to happen. World map has been smoothed and polished. It has. It looks amazing. I can actually show that off. Look at Carleon. Carleon looks like a friggin' fort. Yeah, it does look really cool, and it just looks a little bit more polished, and I think that's it. And then you've got the black zones with random little portals everywhere, and it actually looks something mystical, and it does, it looks good. My naked character in the Carleon here. Ooh, I've actually just skipped through everything. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I pressed tab. Tab is dangerous, apparently. Don't let me press tab again. The territory UI has been overhauled and has the UI for scheduling attacks. Yeah, so that looks really cool. We actually saw that then doing that. That's the new UI for it. It looks pretty cool. And then you've got that, which shows upcoming battles, who's joined it and things like that. You can actually click on the guild now as well, which if it works, if that works and we can click on their guild to find out their stats and they can do the same to us, really cool. I like that. The GVG UI has been overhauled too, and you can now kick people. You can now kick players from GVG again. This needed to happen. Rather kicking them out of the guild for it just causes drama. Multiplayer expeditions now tell you what role other players sign for, so you can kick your healer who's using dual daggers. That is fantastic. So many people queue up as healer and then swap to something else. Exactly what they said. So you can now kick the one person that's trolling. You can now adjust the quality of footsteps in the options menu. I've never had an issue. I've never had someone come to me and be like, when are they going to update better footsteps? Can't say that's ever happened, but still a cool thing that they've added. Hovering over resources in the world now displays a tooltip telling you what type of resource it is and can be disabled. It's amazing. Like, I walked up to something the other day. It was like a tier 7 cloth node on the staging server, and I actually hovered over it, and it told me, and I was like, oh wait, that's really cool. And I stood and defended it until someone came over because I wanted to fight. That's really cool. It's something simple like that makes a big difference. The cluster map now has a compass border again, so I'm just going to show this because wow, this is a massive change. North, west, east, south. So many people have flipping arguments about this. It's really good. It's something simple, and again, it's a really good change. Right, let's actually click back on. The Keeper leadership, including the Earth Mother, once again walks the world and can be found in Iris Mon. Yes, let's just do that. Yes, she looks fantastic. A bit weird in game, but looks fantastic. Iris Mon replaces the old Carfidden area. Added a proper buildings button to the HUD. You can actually do that now, which I believe is the same thing as before. I don't know. The travel planner UI has been improved. We saw that in the other video when I was traveling to the Black Zone. The portrait selection has been improved, and as you can tell, the UI team has been busy. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like now. A lot tidier. None of this red stuff. It does look a lot tidier. I still wish it would tell you how you unlock something though. So let me see all of them and tell me how to unlock them. That would be cool. Silver drops should now constantly disappear 0.5 seconds. Oh, constantly appear. I thought it said disappear. It's like, wow, that's half a second to pick up your silver. That's fast. Silver drops should now consistently appear 0.5 seconds after a mob dies. Previously they were being blocked by death animations. This is pretty cool. It just means you can pick it up quicker. It's just a quality of life thing. Armors have had a visual rework, improving quality and making them more readable. Yeah, they definitely have. Like, even the knight armor, the guardian armor, all that sort of thing have now changed. It's more consistent. You can actually tell what someone is wearing, their whole build, just by looking at them, and that is really cool for me. As someone who learns that sort of thing to get an advantage, that is really cool for me. Using a ground target spell no longer interferes with auto-attacking. Even cooler, actually. I like that. There's a quality of life thing, but it's actually a slight, very, very slight buff to everything with ground target spells, because if you were casting and you weren't auto-attacking, that really screws you up. Especially if you're using a passive that needs to auto-attack. Like, that's actually quite a big change in the grand scheme of things. When force moving, default R&B and classic controls, instant spells will now generally not interrupt the movement. That's pretty cool. You can now use arrow keys to scroll between regions when searching in the world map. Okay, I don't know what that is. Login screen now gives you feedback that it's doing something when you log in. That's cool, because just sitting there is hard at times. Added missing armor and weapon sounds. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. Adding some missing sounds is cool. It's good. Yes. I'm going to highlight that again. Combat balance changes. The balance changes on this server are not final and may change before the update hits the live game. Don't go rushing to it. However, let's go and have a look, shall we? So we're going to go through and I'm going to actually try and show the abilities as well. Arcane stats. New ability, Energy Bolt on the Q slot. New ability, Energy Beam on the W slot. Let's have a look. So you have Energy Bolt, restores 60 energy for yourself or an ally on a 4-second cooldown. Instant cast. But it is a 25 energy cost. So you're going to drain your own energy massively by doing that. And then you have... Oh, there you go. Energy Beam. Forbidden arcane magic, which drains the energy of an enemy. While channeling each second, the enemy loses 33 energy and you gain 33 energy for up to 7 seconds. The target drops below 10% energy, can't drain any further energy. You can really screw some out of it with this. I think this is actually stronger than the 100% damage buff from Empowering Beam. If you use this right, you can win a fight. You can actually carry a fight as Arcane. That is a cool feature. Magic Sphere, ability reworked. It can now be cast on allies or self, increasing magic resist for allies in the area. Enemies in the area will lose energy and will also be revealed from invisibility. Have they buffed my stuff? They have. Oh, baby. So this doesn't actually work the way it says it should work on release currently. Feel free to give it a try. I really couldn't get it to work. Creates a magic sphere around an ally for 7 seconds, increasing magic resist by 191 for up to 5 allies in 5 meters. Enemies in the sphere lose 2 energy every half second. You can put this on like a melee. They're going to be tanky as, and they can just run into a team and start draining everyone of mana. That's really cool. I love this. I tried to make it work on live, but it only works on yourself at the moment on live, and obviously that kind of nerfs it a little bit. Arcane Orb, which is the knockback on the one-handed one, is now 15-second cooldown. No one's going to use it. I can't see anyone changing to that still. Motivating Cleanse. Cleanses seem to be getting a 15-second cooldown as a minimum around the board, so that's not a surprise. Magic Force, abilities needed to activate 6 to 5. There we go. Every 5 activated spells, your next attack will knock the enemy away and interrupt the spellcasting. That's pretty much the one people use anyway, so that's pretty cool. Making it quicker is even better. Bows. Demon Arrow. Hit delay 0 second to 0.2 seconds. This seems like a crazy... People really don't understand this change. What this means is, if 4 people are stood on top of each other, it'll only count as 1 hit, whereas if they're sat slightly spread out, it will still count as hits on all of them. It's just to stop people being stacked on top of each other and getting one shot. I just think it makes it a little bit fairer. The reduced projectile speed, I think, is an overkill. I don't think you need that, to be honest. It's very easy to dodge anyway. You definitely don't need that. Passive slow poison, slow strength versus mobs is 25% up to 40%. This means we might start seeing bows being able to solo bigger things, bigger elites, just because they have that slow permanently. Daggers, disembowel. Additionally breaks shield buffs off target enemies. I hope this means it takes the shield off. So, the way I'm hoping this works, let's actually go to daggers. It's not that one. Oh, it's claws. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Claws might have a place. With Arcane being so strong in the meta coming up, I think Disembowel could be massive. Claws might actually be a really good thing, because you can actually lock someone down, stop them doing anything, and remove shields from the other target. You could jump on a healer and the Arcane can't help, basically. Yeah, I think Claws might have just come into the meta then. I think they're really looking good. Fire Staffs, Pyroblast, yeah, that's not going to make a big difference. I don't like the fact that it's got even more flipping range when I can't cast over 9 meters on my curse. But yeah, it needed to be at least 11 meters, I think. Hammers, new ability, Power Geyser on W slot. Everyone thinks this is terrible. Everyone I've spoken to thinks this is a terrible change. I died to this yesterday in a Hellgate. In a 1v2 situation, I wanted to cry a little bit. After a short delay, a 3 meter radius Power Geyser will break through at the desired ground target. The geyser knocks all enemies into the air and group members 8 meters away. Deals 122 magic damage to enemies. That's potentially really troll. You can knock group members away. That's risky. However, knocking enemies into the air, it just gives them a CC, and that's really cool. So I'm just going to shut my window a sec, because there's a flipping fair that's come across the road. It comes every year, and it's just loud. Hopefully you guys aren't getting any background noise from that. Slowing charge can now be cast on enemies and allies. Now also slows all enemies during the dash animation. Cast range 9 meters to 12 meters. Slow strength is a bit buffed. Energy cost reduced by 41%, huge. And slow radius to 4 meters. So slowing charge. Oh, that's really cool. So I can dash to an ally to be stood on an ally to protect them. So I think hammers could be like the utility one, whereas mace is the engage one. That's pretty cool. I like that. Groundbreaker. Oh, basically everything's just had an energy cost nerf. It's good. It's going to stop hammers being so energy demanding. Life Touch Staff is finally a one-handed weapon. I still don't think it's very good. Holy Touch can now be applied to the caster. I can't remember which one Holy Touch is. Isn't that the one that... It's not the one I thought it was. Oh, you can channel on yourself then. Oh, that's cool. So I could be stood in the middle of a team fight and I can channel that on myself. That's really cool. I still think Life Touch Staff isn't very good. That's just my opinion. Magic Force is... which one? Oh, it's the knockback and interrupt. Makes sense. Okay, I still think adrenaline-driven charity are going to be too strong to let up. Mace's Battle Howl, silence duration reduced by 70%. Very much needed, not a huge nerf. They were too strong. People use it for the purge as much as the silence. Don't get upset by this. Like, they need to nerf silences. Silences are just way too strong currently. Nature Staffs, people have been calling this a nerf. Cleanses around the border getting a slight nerf. Just don't panic about it. Quarterstaff's new ability Separator on each slot of the Quarterstaff. Forceful Swing is now available on W slot of all quarterstaff line items. That's pretty cool. Let's actually have a look then at the new quarterstaff. Directly attacks a single enemy who gets rooted for nearly 9 seconds and takes 190 physical damage. Any other enemies in a 5-meter radius will be knocked away 11 meters by the impact. So if they group up, if they're grouped at all, you can use this to split everyone else away. I don't know how strong that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be very strong, but it's still a cool concept. Hurricane. Ooh. Which one's Hurricane? Oh, the self-slow. Yeah, it used to slow you slightly, so now it's just the same speed. That's fine. And then it's just reducing energy costs a little bit, which is good. Spear's Charged Blade is now called Inner Focus. Rework the ability. It's now a 2-second self-channel where each tick increases damage, CC duration, and move speed. That's really cool. Like that, I think that with Demon Helmet. So let's go to Spears a second. Focus your inner strength on the battlefield and channel for up to 2 seconds. Each 0.2 seconds you will increase damage. Oh, it's CC resistance. Does it say that? CC duration. Okay, so it's actually CC resistance according to the game, CC duration according to the patch notes. If it's duration, Demon Helmet's going to be amazing because you can channel this and you can hit them from afar with a big damage and a silence, and that silence will last longer. If it's CC resistance, which I believe it probably should be, and move speed, you can use this as a bit of a kite, and that'll be pretty cool. Spears will turn into a pure like auto attack thing then, I think. Cripple. If the enemy had a move speed buff active on hit, the caster will now gain an additional move speed increase. So that's really good. It means that spears can actually be used as ganking weapons because if they run away, you can actually stop them and catch up to them as well, which is cool. Lunging Strike. Spirit Spear just reduced energy cost, which it needed again. Spinning Blades, my babies. This ability is now a ground-targeted jump attack which deals AoE damage on landing. This is really strong. I was playing it yesterday and I was chunking people in like tier 5 gear when they were in tier 6 and tier 6.1. I was really chunking people. It's very hard to dodge. It doesn't have a telegraph. It's really, really good. And let's just go over this one. Mighty Swing. Damage reduced by 11%. So I think Dual Swords are going to be the full-out aggressive one. I think Dual Swords is going to be the kill one. I think Mighty Swing from Clarent E is going to be the defensive one. So it's going to do good damage, but it's going to be slightly tankier. Dual Swords is going to do amazing damage, but be full-out aggression. I think that's how it's going to play out. So teams that are going for the pure one-shot combo still is going to be using Dual Swords. People that are going for like a sustain, a good amount of damage, a high damage comp that's a little bit tankier, probably use Clarence. Armors, Speedcaster, which is the Scholar Robe active, energy cost reduced by 20% to 40%. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It'll be good for healers, I think. That could make it good enough to be used on healers. Bloodlust, duration, 10 seconds, is now 8 seconds. Heal increased by 33%. It means the heal's actually been buffed. Just overall, it heals for more than it did before, and it's healing in 8 seconds. That's pretty good. I might actually pick that up on Curse for the 1v2s type situation because people are going to struggle to kill me with that. Yeah, it seems like it could be good. Fury, max dex 5 to 10. Fury. Is Fury the soldier armor? If Fury is soldier armor, then that's going to be amazing. It is. 100% damage bonus and 100% crowd control duration bonus. That could be mental. Okay, that is going to be something ridiculous. 100% that's going to need nerfing. Energy Drain now also restores energy of each ally in effect range. Energy Drain? Oh, that's the Royal Jacket, isn't it? Not jacket, it's the Royal something. Let's have a look. Is it not the Royal Jacket? Energy drain, there we go. 6-meter radius. Okay, so that's going to, what? Restores energy to allies. That's pretty cool. This just seems about sustained fighting in this patch rather than big bursts, which is really cool. Helmet's Ice Block cooldown 40 seconds to 60 seconds. People have been asking me about this. How many times in a Hellgate do you get more than one Ice Block off? Like, realistically. If the fight's not decided in 40 seconds, one team's doing something wrong. I don't think this is a massive change. Perpetual Energy, I still don't know what this is. I wish they told us which helmet it was on. That's one thing I will say. It's not that one. That one? No. Isn't that the same? Oh, it's just 8 seconds rather than 6 seconds. I still think this is not very good, to be honest. Retaliate increases the resistances of the caster now. Instead of reducing it, reflected damage is now 100% and it's now magical. That could be good, actually. I would like to see more people pick that up. That's actually the Hunter Hood. I'd like to see more people pick that up. I think that could be pretty good on, like, frontliners. Especially if it's increasing resistances now. Yeah, damn, that could be really good. Shoes. Shield Charge is the Night Boots. It's a less radius, less duration. I think this might bring it a bit more into touch with other things. Still pretty good, though. Wanderlust. So you still only get up to 80%, I believe. Let's actually have a look. That's the Soldier Boots. It's also a slight buff for Gatherers, I believe. Is it so it's actually 16 seconds now. So it's still going to be 80%. It's just going to have 8 seconds then of 80% duration, which is really cool. It's probably the highest move speed thing in the game. Invisibility. Move speed increases per second. Okay, so it takes 5 seconds to get to 100% speed on the Mercenary Boots, which is the stealth. That's pretty cool. Rush now also increases crowd control duration. I wish they'd tell me which boots. Oh, apologies about this. I literally don't know what Rush is. I know it's on boots. I can tell you that much. Okay, so it's the Hunter shoes. Big move speed increase with crowd control, duration increase. That could be good. That could be good. Might be the idea for like tanks running the Demon Helmet. That's very, very meta right now. If they were to run with Hunter shoes, they could running a lot quicker, get that 35% increased silence off. That could be massive. Shields. All shields resistance is reduced by 20%. So I don't know how this changes Sarcophagus. Oh, okay, so a tier 8. A tier 8 is going to have 10%. I think it's like 16% on live or something. Torches now increases cooldown reduction. Oh, sorry, just to talk about shields. I think shields are needed enough. Look how many people are using shields. It's too reliant. People are just not using anything else. I think this incites using other things. Torch now increases cooldown reduction. 15% of the reduction strength of a horn. Let's actually go to torches, shall we? To a tier 8 torch. Okay, so 3.1% cooldown modifier with a 10% attack speed bonus. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the fact that you can use that for like hybrid builds. And then you've still got the Mist Cooler there to give that pure cooldown reduction. Oxes have got a slight move speed increase. And then we got lots of changes. So I'm just going to briefly rip through these. I'm not going to spend too much time because again this is another 25-minute video. Essence is no longer needed for refining. They can be dropped by special mobs or altars. Hasn't been confirmed what they can be used for as far as I know. You can no longer harvest resources while participating in GVG fights. Good for the people that randomly click on the rough logs. Bad for the people that have no shows and have nothing to do. Focus numbers are all 10 times larger. You get 10 times more per day, and as a baseline everything costs 10 times more than it used to. Basically you get 10k a day rather than 1k, you get 30k in total. I think this means that the specialization bonuses give you more benefit which is cool. They needed to do that. They need to give you a reason to see a progression. On top of the above change, focus costs now vary by item, depending on the tier and how many resources they use. So more resources, bigger tier, more focus. Makes sense? The chat font is now bigger. Yay! For any of the mods out there, or anyone that just is constantly in global, you trolls. The chat font just being bigger is something to work towards. Can't see anything in a snow biome. Options to auto-deny requests. Dual requests and guild invites are now found in the social setting rather than the HUD settings. It's whatever. Beginners items have been buffed to be somewhat stronger. That's pretty cool. Tier 2, 3 and 4 hide mobs are now slightly faster to skin to somewhat balance out the time penalty involved in killing the mob. That's really cool. Just to allow us to fast farm them a little bit quicker. Corrected build requirements, I don't know what that is. Reduces, okay, so this is big. Reduced the item power soft cap in the yellow zone from 900 to 800 item power, and in the green zone from 900 to 700. The scaling factor is also somewhat stronger than it used to be. So I was in a Hellgate yesterday, in a green or a blue zone Hellgate, because it's blue, not green, god damn it. And I was in tier 7.1 gear, and it was as if I was nerfed down to tier 6. So it actually reduced me 2 tiers. So you still get a benefit from having higher tiers, however it's massively more impactful, which is cool. Stops people just over gearing, especially in the blue zones. The yellow zones are slightly different. Like, it's not going to be a massive change there, I don't think. Right, labourers. I'm going to do a whole video on labourers very, very soon. It's been requested for a while and I've been putting it off because I just don't like labourers. But I'm going to do a whole video and these changes will be in there. Fame rewards for Brittle. Good. So people have been farming like ghouls and skeletons solo and getting ridiculous amounts of fame per hour. It's good that they're nerfing the fame rewards. That's cool. Destiny board specializations for combat, crafting and farming have had their fame targets doubled. So it's not the base one, it's the specialization. It's not the mastery, it's the specialization, which is the increasing the focus, reducing the focus cost needed, or speeding it up, or all that sort of thing. But that's for combat as well, so rip any of you that use artifacts. Destiny board specializations for gathering and refining of their fame requirements per mastery level increased by 1.01 to 2 times, scaling linearly from mastery level 0 to mastery level 100. Basically, across the board, specializations are going to be a lot harder to get. All Destiny board crafting nodes in the farm tree have their fame requirements per mastery level doubled. So, yeah, you're going to need a lot more. Like, crafting is seen as a very easy one to level. To have everything doubled is massive. I think that might be going a little bit overkill, but then again, it's a sandbox. We all signed up for the grind, I suppose. Destiny board adventurer nodes have their fame requirements rebalanced. Okay, I don't know that one. Let's actually have a look quickly. So 9k still, 36. I presume it's these. 157. What's that one? That's like 3 mil. 6 mil, wow. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot harder to get to the top ones. But, no one cares. You're going to get there eventually anyway. Just by playing the game. Trainee fighter node now unlocks automatically when you reach the center node. That's cool, so you don't have to go and farm that 200 fame. Yeah, you don't have to go and farm that 200 fame. Destiny board journeyman weapon nodes no longer have 2 stages, and the spell they formerly unlocked is now unlocked from the start. That's good. You used to have to go for 200 fame and then unlock the first ability, and then go for another 800 fame to get to the next tier. It's just annoying. Spell unlocks of the Destiny board have been repositioned so they unlock earlier. Like this, and also don't like this. I don't like this because I'm going to go straight to bows. Poison arrow is now level 15, so you get this just after tier 5. Speed shot is now level 40. So level 40, where you were just unlocking the first thing to gank, you've now got everything. You're now fully loaded, ready to go. So that's going to be pretty damn scary. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot more bow gangers, I think, now that Norsk has kind of set the precedent, and the fact that it's going to be a lot easier to get there. But it's still pretty cool. So let's actually have a look. So Curse, obviously people know Curse is my baby. Demonic Sickle, you don't actually unlock it from level 1, which is weird. Energetic, you get that a lot earlier, that's cool. Desecrate, still no one's using it ever. Hit and run, yeah, so Curse gets screwed, basically. Region names have been reviewed and where necessary streamlined to aid readability and pronounceability. That's cool, just because, like, it makes things easier. Material costs of armoured horses and oxen are increased by 50%. That's a little bit scary. Okay. Didn't think they needed it, but then again, armoured horses are quite easy to... I don't know about ox, but I know armoured horses are quite easy to build up. Mobs will only aggress players by proximity if they're not in combat. So unless you attack a mob once you're in combat, you shouldn't pick up another mob. They will only aggress players who do something aggressive until they die or reset. That's pretty cool. Aggressive things for the purposes of mob aggression now includes all aggressive spells on mobs and all beneficial spells on mob targets. Okay. Giving a shield to a mob's target will now cause aggression proportional to the shield's strength. Arcane can now tank. Honestly, we were running as Arcane yesterday in Hellgates and he had permanent aggro. Just because of the strength he was kicking out shields, he had permanent aggro. Critter/hide mob skeletons will now stick around for twice the mob's average respawn time, decreasing skeleton piles and making it easier to see where higher tier mobs spawn. That's pretty cool. Veteran and Elite Morgana Knights have had their mechanics adjusted to be more interesting. Okay, it doesn't tell us what, it just tells us it's more interesting. Added some additional guild logos and lowered territory yield buff to 50% to compensate for the increased amount of resources now found in Watchtower territories. So that's fine. That's not a problem. That's probably needed, to be honest. And there's a load of fixes that I'm not going to go over because they're not massive. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in again. This is a 32-minute video. Oh my god. Do apologise for this. It's a massive video. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and catch you later. Like, comment, subscribe, that usual stuff. Catch you later.